Woo! And what you gonna do? Oh yeah! Now!
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Hey yo!
I will give you a show like you have never, ever seen before. Why? Because I can.
The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
Rob Van Dam.
Give me a hell yeah!
Oh! Viva la raza!
Hey everyone, welcome to Wrestling Saturday Night, and this figure begs the question: how can you be involved in one of the biggest matches of all time, years later come back to do the rematch, and it becomes one of the worst matches of all time? It's actually amazing when you look at it. This is Ultimate Warrior from the Halloween Havoc match with Hulk Hogan. When it first started, everybody went nuts. It was cool, and I liked it. When we got to the closer we got to the match, the weirder it got. There's that point where Hogan can see Ultimate Warrior in the window, in the mirror. We can see Ultimate Warrior in the mirror. Bischoff cannot. That was one of the odder ones ever. This is a cool figure. Not gonna lie. I mean, it's pretty much the same Ultimate Warrior we've had before. I think the hair's a little different, and that's all. I've got Warrior when he won the belt over there. So, you might be able to see him on camera. He's behind the Macho King. And in front of Mr. America. One thing I do like about this figure is this alternate sculpt is obviously after the match, and you know, unlike what they've done in the past, they left some paint on. I do like that. He's got two open hands and two fists. This keeps happening to all my Ultimate Warriors. It's usually on this side, the tassels come off. Bugs the shit out of me. Same problem with that Ultimate Warrior. Bugs the shit out of me. It's a big pet peeve. Now, you got the gear, you got the wrestling tights, which were kind of interesting. Very different from the Ultimate Warrior, but this is the piece de resistance. That coat. Wow. And that is perfectly recreated from the match. That's what he ran out in. He had a airbrush coat that had some really cool designs on it. I mean, not everything on it is cool. There's some weird stuff too. But for the most part, this was a really awesome coat. And this is what I wanted this for. Here lies NWO. Okay, gotta like that. Anyway, I do remember this coat, and I just remember it being so cool. So cool to see, and you know, Ultimate Warrior was the only guy who could pull that off. I mean, it's obvious. He's the only guy that could have pulled that off. That was right after the Blade Runners reunion that nobody talked about being a reunion. You know, Sting and Ultimate Warrior tag teamed for the first time in decades, it seems. I think it was about 10 years. I don't know. We got treated to that at least, and I don't know. Something weird happened. I remember the Warrior saying, you know, he was going to take down the whole NWO, and then he kicked some ass, and then he disappeared. He was gone. And I was really interested to see where things were going to go. I mean, to me, one great one would have been Warrior versus Goldberg. I don't know if their egos could have handled it, but it's like the meteoric rise of this generation star versus the meteoric rise of the previous generation star. That would have been a good angle to go with. I think you could have got some mileage out of Hogan and Warrior, even though that match flopped so heavily. I think you could have gone for a rematch, and then that would have actually maybe saved the feud. You know, and as much as people want to bemoan WCW at that point, they still weren't down yet. I mean, they were not up by any stretch. That's the beginnings of the end, and it's not even the finger poke of doom that's the end. I mean, the end is, I don't think you can knock it down to one thing. There was a lot going on, but people like to throw blame at Hogan and Warrior. Both of them were out of the company when everything went down. That knocked WCW into the toilet. So, again, I don't understand where people get their logic from. But, be that as it may, it is what is. We now have one company. Oh wait, we have two. We got AEW. But for this era of wrestling, you gotta think, look, ECW, WCW. I'm looking for a WWF. The WWF, Razor Ramon. Again, it's like all those eras are being represented in this toy line. All those companies. Because they got merged, man. They all merged up. So, it's not like this didn't happen. It happened, unfortunately. Because I think competition made things better. Monday Night War was a very enjoyable time. It was a lot of good wrestling and a lot of good fun. It was fun. And despite all of its failings, this part was fun too. Because I gotta admit, when Warrior came back in that time, yeah, that was pretty fucking cool. I did like it. It's a 20-minute ramble, but God, it's good. Who's this dude? Your barber? I freely admit, I hate the way the Warrior passed. I think it was weird. Yeah, there's no other way around it. It's just weird. And, I can't really say much. I liked the Warrior a lot. He was not my favorite. But I liked him. And I was older then. So, that's saying something. But this is Ultimate Warrior. I do like this figure. Because he's not going on the shelf, though. I'm going to tell you that right now. He's not going on the shelf. He's going in the extra box. And I'll use him on occasion. But a lot of guys end up in there. So it's not a big deal. Alright. Yeah, I dig him. This is another hella dope one. They had him on sale. I just had to get him. But anyway. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Just a quick talk about the Ultimate... Oh! I did see Ultimate Warrior. He didn't fight, but he spoke in the ring, so, it was during the WCW days, so there you go. But I did get to at least see him, so there's a plus. He didn't wrestle, but I saw him. Okay, so, that's going to wrap up Wrestling Saturday Night. Thanks so much for watching. You guys take care.